Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Pranzata Podcast. This is your host, Andrea Pranzatelli. This is a very random, impromptu podcast. This is a Philadelphia musician, a fellow musician of Philly, guitar player mainly, right?
Yeah.
Or do you sing as well, or just?
Yeah, I sing, but in the band, I mostly play guitar.
Never met him before. I literally just put a thing on Instagram, and I was like, I need a podcast guest this week, and he was there, and he got the spot. A couple other people hit me up, but they have the spot later. So this is totally random, and I'm going to literally learn about you today on the podcast because I've never met you before.
Amen,
so this
brother.
is cool.
Yeah.
I was asking you what your interests were, and one of the things you mentioned was coffee. So are you a barista or just really into coffee?
I was a barista when I lived in Colorado a few years ago. I worked in the coffee industry for like 2 years. And I did some like roasting and production and stuff. So it's been a while, but I still make like a hand brewed pour over every morning for myself.
Okay, so interesting. I actually think this is a good topic to talk about because I have been a food snob over the years. Like I've been really into food, but coffee is one of those territories that most people, when they meet me, they're like, you must know a lot about coffee. I'm like, actually nothing.
You just look like it, you know?
Because I'm like,
you got the vibe.
I'm like a food person. So they're like, oh, you must know about like organic. And I'm just like, honestly, like I still drink Starbucks. Like
it's all good, man.
So I have questions for you.
Sure.
What's wrong with a coffee pot? Why are the coffee snobs now going on to pour overs and French presses? I have a coffee pot and I have it stored away just because everybody is not using their coffee pot anymore. I'm like, I don't know if it's the microplastics or what's going on.
You know, I have no clue what's wrong with them. You know, I like what I like, and I'm not going to like yuck anybody's yum. You know, if you like your Nespresso or your like Keurig, like that's totally
But what's
fine.
the theory? Like why trending is everybody moving to pour overs and French presses? What's so much better about that? Is it the microplastics they're trying to avoid, or are those techniques supposed to bring out the flavors of the coffee? Or?
Yeah, I think you can get pretty like intricate with like brewing and stuff. I really think it's just like how the vinyl thing and like cassette tapes and CDs are like having like a resurgence of like, oh, this is the cool thing to do. I feel like people making their own coffee like via like a French press or something. It's like, oh, this is what the cool hipsters do now. Like, this is what the cool
so it's like a hipster. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it just seemed too overwhelming because I went to my friend's house once and he made me a French press coffee and I was like, this is so. It took him forever to make it. I was like, I would rather you just like do a regular coffee pot.
Yeah.
What is a French press? Like, what do you do?
So it's kind of like brewing tea. So essentially like say this water glass is the vessel. You pour the coffee grounds in. You want them pretty coarse. Yeah. So like coarser than like sand. Yeah. You pour the boiling water on it, and then there's like this little cap that has like a metal filter. You let it steep for like 4 minutes, and then you push down to push all the coffee grounds to the bottom. That way it like stops brewing, and then you pour it out and serve it.
Okay. It took forever. That's all I know.
Yeah. It does take a bit. I think I have a really, really intricate like a coffee siphon. It's kind of like a percolator. And that takes like, I want to say like 30 minutes start to finish.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Because you got to like boil the water separately, pour it in this little chamber, this like bulbous glass, let it boil again. And then it like filters to this like upper glass chamber. And then you pour the coffee grounds in, and then it like.
Do you have a go-to? Like, I like a dark roast. I like a medium roast. I like what's your thing?
Yeah, I'm a light roast girly. Like I like a lot of acidic flavors, very like fruity and floral, like the real snobby stuff that like, oh, I taste a little bit of lime and blueberry. Like I can
like
do
that
that.
Stuff.
And so like it's fun, but yeah, typically like a lot of like third wave coffee. It's more on like the lighter side.
It's funny. I started drinking dark roast, not because I prefer the flavor, but because apparently it's lower in acid. Yep. And because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm primarily a food health snob type of thing. I'm trying to be cautious about that type of stuff, like not consuming too much acid in my coffee. So I actually go for dark roast.
Yeah, and it's fine.
Doesn't taste as good. It doesn't have like you said, the hipster, like the hints
nuances,
of the flowers and stuff like that. It's more like a chocolatey, like it's like so
like
dark.
Baker's chocolate, a lot of like caramel or something.
Yeah, apparently in Italy they use a lot of dark roast. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, and my next question for you about coffee is Starbucks bad? Because I actually like the flavor of it. They're going on strike apparently in my neighborhood at the least. I don't know if they're going on strike across the country, but I know in this neighborhood they're going on strike. What's the deal with Starbucks? Why do the hipsters hate it? What's going on?
Well, I mean, it is like objectively like really bad coffee. Like I like it's and that's fine, you know. But in the sense of like something that's like craft, like it's not, in my opinion, it's over roasted. Like if you like buy a bag of beans from Starbucks, they're really like oily and shiny. Yeah. You want those inside the beans though, because like those, getting really technical here, the coffee beans have like fats and oils and acids and stuff, and like that's where the flavors come from. Like that's where you're extracting the flavors and like the caffeine and stuff. And so if it's over roasted, those oils like excrete on the outside. Got it. So then when you open the bag, they kind of like dissipate as the bag like sits there for a while. But yeah, I like a lot of it is just like preference, you know. Again, I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum, but just like technically speaking, like it is just poor craftsmanship. It's like mass produced. It's funny. I had my brother-in-law used to work at Starbucks, and he was always like, espresso only lasts 15 seconds. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. And then I grew up and learned that like, oh no, you can just start to taste it after 15 seconds. Because if something is like too hot or too cold, you just taste it. It's hot or cold. Yeah. Like that's why like Coors Light, it's like, oh, like optimal brewing temperatures when the mountains on the can turn blue, it's because it's cold. Yeah. It's like you can't taste that it's a shitty beer. Pardon my language.
To make an analogy, it kind of reminds me of, because I'm a piano teacher and, you know, I play music and stuff like that. But some of my students will ask me when they're learning a song, they're like, what's the right way? Like, which octave should I play it in? What's the correct, like they're overthinking the music theory part of it. And I'm like, honestly, whatever just sounds better to you. Like there's no, so to parallel that, it sounds like in the coffee world, people get really into like the techniques, but it's like at the end of the day, what tastes good for your taste
or just like whatever makes you happy, you know. Like everyone has their own approach. I drink coffee because I like the taste. I don't really need it to wake up, but I know a lot of people that just like, hey, I need 4 cups, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine, dude. I can't
do too much of it. I do 1 cup a day. Like I had one, and by cup I mean like a mug. So like I had 1 mug of it this morning, but if I had any more than that, I would have had to cancel. Like I would have had like a full-on panic attack and been like I can't. It's just like shaking. I don't know. My nerves are highly sensitive. I don't know about you. Can you do like a lot of coffee in a day, or do you?
Not really. I mean, I usually only have like a cup in the morning. Today I had 2 just because I was like already out and I had time to just like stop and get a cappuccino somewhere. But usually like I'll just have 1. If I have coffee too late, like past like 3 o'clock for some reason, I'm like so shaky.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so moving on. Did you say you were like mental health was something you're interested? Was that something you were?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you have experience with this. Lately, speaking of coffee and how it could affect things, lately I've been having an insomnia spell.
Oh goodness.
Pretty bad for like 2 months now, I want to say. When I say insomnia, obviously you have to sleep to survive. So it's not that I haven't slept in 2 months, but my sleep is very fragmented. Like I'll fall asleep, but wake up, and over the course of a night, I probably only sleep like 4 to 6 hours, but not straight through, like goodness fragmented.
Me. That sucks.
Have you ever had an insomnia spell? And if so, how did you get through it?
I don't know if I'd call it like insomnia. I've had spells where just like I had a lot of trouble sleeping. Most recently, I think it was just like my old apartment. It was a really cool place in West Philly. It was like this like old church. So it had this like beautiful architecture, but I had one window that was facing north. So I didn't get a lot of like natural light. And so like I would just be up really late, and then I wouldn't get out of bed until like 10 or like 10:30 sometimes. And that would just make me stay up later because I'm like, I'm sleeping in so freaking long.
Yeah.
And I was like, I tried so many things like melatonin. Like
I'm going through it all.
Like taking I had like a CBD or a THC pen that I would like take a couple hits of. I tried just like having a shot of whiskey or something, or just like a couple beers before bed. Like it was just not working. And then at the day after I moved into this new apartment, my sleep has been phenomenal.
So you think it's 100% light related?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Dude, okay. So literally all the things you mentioned, I'm like very determined to fix my sleeping issues. Obviously, I have a well-lit apartment. The curtains are closed now, but you saw when you walked in, it's like big window, very bright in here. But I think apparently you're supposed to get actually out. If you're struggling with like a circadian rhythm disruption, you're supposed to get out into the sun. Even if you have like a well-lit apartment, I'm sure that helps. But if it's like really bad, you're apparently supposed to get out into the sun first thing, like within an hour of waking up, like as soon as possible. So literally this morning, even though it was probably one of the colder mornings that we've had so far.
25 degrees.
Yeah, it was 25 degrees. I bundled up and I just put on 2 layers of pants, 2 layers of sweaters, a hat, gloves, everything. And I just walked outside for 30 minutes because I feel determined to fix this issue. Yeah. Because I'm going through all the same things, all the things you mentioned. I tried smoke. I don't smoke weed, but I tried smoking weed before bed, and it made everything worse. Yeah. Alcohol is. I've been doing a lot of reading on this as well. Apparently, melatonin gummies actually do absolutely nothing to help people sleep.
That's crazy.
And not only that, but the research shows that a lot of these, and it's the same thing with like CBD and THC, like gummies and stuff like that. A lot of these companies are competing for like, we can give you the maximum potency for less money. So they will give you more than you actually need to try to, like, they're trying to make better sales, but it's actually messing it up worse. So melatonin, the melatonin that we buy, the gummies that we buy apparently have like 20 times the amount of melatonin that your body actually needs to fall asleep. So it's That's like, crazy. It's a hormone. So it's like messing everything up worse. So melatonin doesn't help. Alcohol doesn't help. Weed doesn't help. Literally, like you mentioned, apparently the cure is sun. So like I literally just ordered like a light therapy box. It's supposed to be like a really bright, I can't remember how they measure it, but it's like 10,000 something of light that you can use something, whatever they use.
10,000 lights.
10,000 lights in your eyes in the morning, like in case it's like really, like if there's like a day where it's like 5 degrees, I'm not going to go outside. So I'm like determined to fix this issue because it's really pissing me off. But that's inspiring to know that you were able to fix it just by like having a different apartment with better lighting. So
yeah, one thing too that like a few years ago, it was like a TikTok trend and it actually like kind of worked, was having, I don't remember the amount, but like having like a cup or something of like really tart cherry juice.
That's what they said too on the podcast I listened to today.
It doesn't help you fall asleep faster, but it helps you have better sleep.
That's what I heard.
So like when you do fall asleep, and like the first night I took it, because this was like a few years ago, I hadn't slept well in like 5 years at that point. And I realized now I was just in a shitty relationship that, but I was like determined to just like try to make something work. And I like took a cup of this cherry juice and it was tart. Good God. It was hard to get down. But that night I like dreamt for the first time in like 5 years. And I was like, this is great. Oh God, I got to do this. And then like after like a week of doing it, it's like, the effect stopped working.
You got you got used to it or something?
Yeah.
So do you okay, this actually perfectly segues to my next questions I wanted to ask. Dreams. So because we're talking about sleep and sleep health, do you think dreams have a spiritual significance, or are they just random things that our brains do? What's your take on that?
I don't know. I'm a weird person to ask that because, and this is like tying into like some of my like religious background, but I have like prophetic dreams sometimes. And for anyone who doesn't know what that means, like I dream about the future, and it's like, it sounds so fucking weird. Pardon my language.
No, you can curse.
Okay. But like, so I grew up in Southern California, and like the year before we moved to Colorado, almost every night I had a dream about my life in Colorado. And I was in Colorado for like 13 years. And the entire time I had like deja vu moments of, oh my God, I had a dream about this when I was 13 years old and now I'm 25. Yep. It's crazy. And then before I moved to Philly, same thing for like a few months, like the months leading up to it, I had dreams about my life here. And I was like, I don't recognize these people. And the thing about my, like most dreams, but like, especially like mine, is there's usually something that like I can tell with like, okay, this is a dream, where it's like if I'm interacting with somebody and it's like, oh, I'm in an apartment and just like physically the architecture doesn't make sense. Or like I'm hanging out with my friend Kevin at his home, but that's not where Kevin lives. And there's somebody else in here that's like, oh, that's not Kevin's girlfriend, but like in the dream, that's. Yeah. So when there's factually accurate things in my dream, I don't remember most of them, but I usually wake up like, okay, that may have been something. So I don't know if it's like anything spiritual or not. I feel like sometimes maybe, but for the most part, like, I don't know, my dreams are weird. Like I had some really weird dreams like this morning, you know, like I woke up at like 4, then I went back to sleep and like I dreamt that an old friend of mine from college like went to the DMV and got my car registration renewed, and he handed me California license plates, and he was like, this is what they gave me, you figure it out. Like that doesn't mean anything, you know. But yeah, like I think they can, it really just like depends on like the person and the situation, but like sometimes mine have like meant something, and I usually don't remember if it was like a prophetic dream until like it happens, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I dreamt about this at some point because this feels familiar.
Yeah. Is there an of all the prophetic dreams you've had, is there anyone that sticks out in your mind as like that shit was crazy? I've had a few prophetic dreams that I can account for, but not every, like it sounds like you have them frequently. I
used to, yeah. I haven't had one in a while. Nothing like crazy. It's weird because like it's all just like really mundane things. Like it's just like, oh, I had a dream about me sitting at this coffee shop and reaching for my cup like in this way and then looking up and there's somebody in a red beanie. Like it's really mundane stuff. Yeah. But I'd be curious to hear like your crazy ones.
I will share maybe one or two. Before I get to that, I want to actually ask you this. You just mentioned right now that you haven't had them in a while. Neither have I. I used to have prophetic dreams. I know it's like sounds a certain way, like I'm a prophet, but not, but like you said, prophetic dreams in the sense that you can like predict weird, mundane things about the future, or, you know, more sincere things about the future. I used to have them too, and I stopped. Do you think that it's because of evolving technology that we're less in touch with our intuition? Because that's my theory right now. Is like I feel like I used to get a lot of like weird synchronicities, and I used to get a lot of like weird dreams, and I feel like I used to be more in touch with the other part of my of my subconscious or whatever. And I've noticed as time has gone on and as I'm getting older that I'm kind of losing it a little bit, and it's harder to get in touch with that part of myself. Do you think that could be because of emerging technology, and like there's so many now like 4Gs and like things in the air and like kind of messing with our signals or something?
Yeah, I think we're actually on the 5th G now.
Are we on the 5th
G? I think that could be it. You know, that is probably like, I think just we have a lot of distraction, whether it's technology or like something else. And I try to keep a relatively clear mind about all that stuff. Like obviously I'm not perfect. Yeah. But like I will say, like I used to be on TikTok and I deleted it a couple weeks ago. Okay. And it has been unimaginably freeing. Like I'm not really doom scrolling anymore in the way that I used to. And I feel a little bit more in tune with like my creative side, at least. Like I've been able to like write a lot more, and it's like it's actually like good. Like I feel good about it, and like that doesn't happen all the time. Yeah. So I think like technology like has an impact, sure, on like a distraction, but I think it's just like we just kind of let too many things get in the way of like connecting with like all parts of ourselves. Yeah. If that sentence made any sense.
No, it pretty much validates my thoughts exactly, because I'm kind of it's funny, I'm saying like, oh, I'm out of touch with my intuition. One part of my intuition that seems accurate is like, my intuition is telling me like, I feel like all these distractions are messing with my intuition. You know what I mean? So that kind of validates that. Yeah. Like, what made you decide to get off TikTok?
Dude, I had been thinking about it for a while, because I wasn't like famous by any means, but like I had like 1,400 or something followers, like enough people to like that would like notice, you know, when I posted a video or something that gave me like some type of validation. And like I felt a lot of pressure to like, oh, I have to post something. It's been like a week. Right. I feel really good in this outfit. I have to post it. And I was just like, I just got sick of it. Yeah. I was like, first of all, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care to like post stuff. Like, for somebody who is like relatively active on social media, like I don't care about it. And I kind of hate it. And I'm just good at it. I know how to play the game. And again, like I had been thinking about it for a while, and I was just like, this thing isn't bringing me any joy. I should just stop. And it just felt right one day, you know, like I usually have like pretty good like intuition or like gut feelings when it's just like, if I feel something, I'm just gonna do it. And there was one day that I was just like, it's time, like today's the day. I posted a video and I was just like, hey, like I'm getting off here. Yeah, thanks for everyone that I've like connected with. You can still connect with me like through the band or something, but just like I'll see you in another life. Yeah. And my intention was to like keep that up for a little bit. Yeah, so that way like some people like were able to see it. And that night, like I just got like a little drunk and sad. And I got home and I was like, oh, I'm just going to delete it. But like, honestly, it was a really, really good decision for me. Like I feel a lot more clear just with like approaching life. And again, like just the art has been coming to me a lot more. And I've been like finding really good ways to fill that time and space in my life versus just like doom scrolling.
It's funny. And that's the paradox of it, is like, for me personally, the paradox is I actually like podcasting. Podcasting is great. I don't feel like if anything, it brings me closer to whatever the spirit is, because I get to, like, I'm sitting down with you. I'm getting to know you on a personal level. I'm not going to walk away from this feeling exhausted. I'm going to walk away feeling like that was great. I got to connect with a human being. Where it becomes doomsday, like, you know, not doomsday, but where it becomes doomish, whatever the right way to phrase it is when I have the pressure of keep it consistent. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's fine that I don't mind keeping consistent episodes per se. Like I'm, you know, like I had to get you here to get an episode out on time for Monday, but persistent in like, now time to make a short. What time do I post it at? Yeah. And it's like this stress. And for me, pretty much like everything you described is like my internal battle right now. It's like, I want to do this, but I don't want to do it in a way that makes me miserable. Yeah. And the sad thing is, I don't know, but I think the sad thing is that if you want to do it in a way that actually makes you successful and you make money off of it, it's better to like be like, what's the posting time and what thumbnail should I post? And it's just like, oh, like for me, it's like, I don't, like you called it a game. You're like, I know how to play the game. And that's kind of like a crossroads where I'm at right now. It's like, do I want to go in and play the game and somehow do it in a way that I don't attach my emotions to it so that I could see some financial rewards from putting the work into this? Or do I want to just kind of do it as I go and say, hey, you know what, if it becomes something that way, great. If not, fuck it. Like, and it's been really difficult for me to figure out like which way to go with that. But it sounds to me like that was a good decision for you to like not do it that way. Yeah,
for sure. Because I kind of felt like a similar thing. Like I felt like I was on the brink of, okay, if I just like lean into this a little bit more, like I could probably like multiply a following and like kind of make something out of this. And I had like a buddy of mine who was also like, I met him through TikTok and like it was like really cool, but like he would like push me a lot to like, oh, you gotta like post more, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And like I had gone on a couple dates recently with some folks and like they like said like the same thing. like, oh, like you can go on live and do this, like, because you play guitar, you have a talent, you could showcase that. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like anytime I had those conversations, I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like the information you're giving me doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And yeah, at some point I was just like, I'm not going to lean into it, because if I do, it's going to like suck my soul.
Right.
And I think it like, that was just for me. Like, I'm not like sitting here telling you to not lean into it. Like, I'm not shitting on my friends who are on TikTok or anything like that. Like, that's fine. It's just for me, like personally, like it was just like, I wasn't really getting anything out of it, like joy wise.
Yeah.
It was just something to fill the time and to fill like an attention void.
Yeah.
That I had and still kind of have been trying to fill since I was like a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it was never enough. You know, I posted a video and there was like sort of one time that like I had a video get like 4,000 or 5,000 views, which is a lot for me.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like enough. Like I was still just like, why isn't it doing more? Like I posted more stuff like this. Like, why isn't it doing just as well? So I was like, it's just, I can't do it anymore.
I think social media is purposely curated by whoever designed it to kind of be like a casino. Like, like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and for creators, they kind of sell you this idea that you can have freedom by working in your passion, and then you can quit your 9-to-5 job. But the thing is, it doesn't equate to that, because unless truly what you do authentically does lead to a bunch of success without having to change yourself. So if I can think of a specific example, Joe Rogan is somebody who I feel like he just posts his videos, he talks about whatever he wants, and that formula works for him.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, in the rough.
Especially especially nowadays, a lot of people, what they end up doing is they end up having to change something about themselves. Like, so if I can speak from my personal, example, I notice as a female, if I'm like posting a piano video, if I dress sexier, it gets more views. But then
stick
my butt out or whatever. But then it pushes me into this like direction. Like, what am I becoming? Am I becoming like a pianist sex worker? Like what's going on here? Is that really what I want to do? Is that what I want to become? And so a lot of questions like that come up. But I feel like going back to what I was saying, because I got a little off track there, I feel like social media is designed in a way where it's like you can live your dreams, but it's like, but then once you sell your soul in a certain way, or you have to change your personality or change how you do things in order to appease the algorithm, it actually is doing the opposite. And it's like, this isn't that much different than working a shitty job like at a certain point. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. Like go ahead.
I'll let you finish, but just to like cap off what I was going to say is I think the way I'm doing it is I'm just going to do it like, I guess the Joe Rogan way, which is like, I'm going to post my podcast. I'm not going to feel this pressure to like post daily, because that's just overwhelming. I'm going to post it as it comes naturally to what feels right to me, what feels like wholesome to me. If that over time leads somewhere, great. If not, fuck it. I don't know, you know?
First off, Joe Rogan as an inspiration is a wild like thing. I understand like what you're saying. Yeah. It's just funny. But yeah, like I don't want to like shit on anyone's approach to it. Like you can get whatever you want from it. And as long as like some people like are okay and happy with like selling their soul and like appealing to the algorithm and the masses and stuff like that, like that's fine. You know, like if you just want to do this thing and like play this game to make money, do it. Yeah. You know, I just didn't, you know, so like it's really however you want to approach it. There's really no like right or wrong way, unless you're like harming somebody, you know, or yourself. But like, it's like a weird thing to talk about, like people's approach to social media, because it's like, it's not bad. Yeah. It's just doesn't work for some people, and it doesn't work for me, you know. But again, if you want to sell your soul and play the game, go for it, man. Yeah.
I think for me, I'm like more sensitive, like you were saying how you were, you're like, this isn't, I think I'm kind of like a little more of a sensitive soul, I guess you could say. So selling my soul is something that would harm me psychologically.
Yeah.
So it's like weird. I don't want to step away from the game, but I don't want to lean in. I'm just like in this in between. So like I said, my only way to do it would be to do it in a way that feels right to me. And that might not be the right posting schedule or the right clickbait material. It's just going to be what I am. Like I can't be anything else than just like what I am and where I'm at, you know? So
amen.
Amen. All right. So next, okay. Religion. So you said you're interested in religion.
Yeah.
So why did you bring that up as one of your points? Are you a religious person or do you just enjoy studying different religions? Like what about religion interests you?
Well, I'm not religious anymore. I grew up religious, like a evangelical Christian, I would say. My parents were born Catholic and then they converted to Christianity sometime in their teens or 20s. Obviously I wasn't alive. I don't remember. But I grew up in like a very kind of conservative Christian household. And kind of like even in that, like I played that game for a really long time. And I never really felt like connected to like God or whatever was on the other side. But like I did all the things I was supposed to do. You know, when I started playing guitar, I joined the worship team because that's what people told me to do. And like when I finished high school and I was going to college, people were like, oh, well, you should be like a worship pastor. You're really good at this. And I was like, okay, I just want to like play guitar. And if this is a way I can do it, cool. Yeah. And so like I went to a Christian university, which was awful. And like studied to be a worship pastor, realized I didn't want to do it halfway through my senior year. So I did 3.5 semesters of like wanting to like take it like very seriously. And then in like February of my like last semester, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And I kind of like, I hate to use this word, but because it's thrown around a lot, but like I kind of like deconstructed my faith really during the pandemic. I think like a lot of people that I know really just zoomed out during that time, you know, like everyone was just stuck at home and you're just kind of like left with your thoughts and with the things you've been wrestling with. And I had been like kind of struggling with why I was still practicing religion, like for a few years, like on and off, just like, I hate this. I hate God. He doesn't give a shit. So like, why am I wasting my time? Why am I wasting time praying and dedicating like all of his time and energy when it's just like, I'm getting nothing. Like, not like, I don't believe in like, I forget, there's like a specific word, like a type of theology where it's like, I give God something, God gives it to me back, or God gives me something back. Like, I never really believed in that. But it was just like, oh, like you really, like I should be feeling something, you know, especially if I'm like crying out for help and like praying, like I didn't feel anything when like I should have. And so I had been like wrestling on and off for a few years, and really just like the pandemic just helped me zoom out and gave me time to like not have anybody bullshit in my ear, like tell me like, oh, well, you just got to lean in and read your Bible. Like I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore for me. But it's still something that's like really interesting to me. I think religion and like spirituality like can be really beautiful if it's not manipulated. And I think a lot of, especially like Christianity, it's been heavily manipulated, and like the basis of it is really beautiful, but like a lot of people are just doing it wrong. You know, like the Bible doesn't say anything about like being gay is bad. If you like look at the original language, it's saying that like, hey, I think the exact wording was, it's not good for one man to lay with another. But what it meant was, hey, this older guy is raping little boys. It's not good for him to rape little boys. Yeah. Like that's what it was saying. Not that it was bad to be gay. And like, I don't know, there's like nothing in the Bible about like, it's like it's bad to drink or like smoke marijuana or something. Yeah. Like it's talking about like it's bad to abuse stuff. But like you can drink, you know, like Jesus had like passed around wine at the Last Supper, you know, like you can't say that drinking is bad. But yeah, like I think a lot of the messages of the like the Bible and shit is just like, just care about the person that you're next to and the people that you're around, and like treat them with like love, respect, and kindness. You know, like we don't have to agree for me to like support you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just been like grossly manipulated over the years. And it's hard having conversations with my parents about stuff like this, because I'm like, I actually studied this stuff, and it's hard to like look them in the eye and be like, you're wrong about like what you think this word means and how you're using it. Like it's just wrong. And yeah, like I just like, I don't get to talk like religion too much, because a lot of the people out here that I know aren't religious, didn't really grow up religious, more of just like, hey, we went to church Christmas and Easter and that's about it. But it was such a defining thing for me. It's like I usually just have like, if you get me going, like I haven't stopped talking for like 5 minutes now. It's like if you get me going on and I'm like, yeah, like I'm just down to talk.
Especially in this area, because this is Philadelphia. I feel like nowadays politically, the word religion is like, oh my God, like it's like you said God, like you know what I mean? It's and I think it's a shame, because to your point, I'm not a religious person, but I guess you could say I kind of grew up religious, but not really. My grandmother went to the Catholic Church, and my parents also went to the Catholic Church, but they kind of did it just to please grandma. They never really talked about it at home. It wasn't
checking a box.
It wasn't anything that serious. So even though I went to the Catholic Church, I would zone out and not pay attention. I did go. I went to. Amen. I do remember that word.
Yeah.
I went to CCD and got confirmation, but again, I would just like zone out and not pay attention. So I grown up religion, sure, but not really. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's besides the point. Nowadays, I enjoy reading scripts from the Bible, and I enjoy learning about different religions, because just philosophically it's interesting. And I think a lot of people, when they get too caught up in the political side of it and it becomes a dangerous thing to talk about because of that, they kind of they stop themselves from kind of like opening their minds to these bigger conversations. You know what I mean? So I agree with you there. I wanted to ask you, because you said you deconstructed your relationship with religion. Was that because, from my experience, having to deconstruct a reality of some kind, whether it be a end of a relationship, like you're deconstructing like what you thought, like you thought this was meant to be, you thought it was love, now you're starting over. Or in my case, deconstructing like the meaning of my purpose. Like, am I supposed to like lean into the social media or not? Like I find that those moments to be some of the most painful, and perhaps probably even why I'm having a insomnia at the moment. But I find those moments in life when you're just like redirecting what reality means to you to be some of the most painful moments. Did you find that to be the case when you were zooming out and looking at your relationship with religion? Was it like a painful experience to kind of like
big time?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, I would say in even some ways I'm like still kind of recovering from that. And for like years, I think it wasn't until 2023 maybe that I had like kind of a breakdown, and was just like, I realized like I've been having an identity crisis for like 3 years, because the thing was, the beautiful thing that came with religion and Christianity was answers, truth, faith, peace. Like, I know what I'm here for, and I know where I'm going, and I know where like goodness comes from. And are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
When you like kind of walk away from that, you like everything that you are is gone. You know, like especially with Christianity, I can't really speak too much for other religions, but with Christianity, before your own name comes the fact that you're a Christian. Like people place, like that's the whole thing, is that you place your entire identity in the fact that you're a Christian and like in God and stuff. And so when you walk away from that, everything else that you've known about yourself and about life, about love and relationships is now like the big umbrella that it was under, gone.
Yeah. And
so like it took so long, and again, like I'm still kind of like recovering from that, because I'm still learning like what does it mean to be a friend? What does it mean to be a partner? What does it mean to be like a caring neighbor, you know? Cause I'm like, I don't know. And it's like, like it's trial and error. A lot of it is just, things that I like, okay, well, what do I feel good about doing? What do I feel good about being? Can I look myself in the mirror if I do this or if I don't do this?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, excuse me.
You're good.
Been holding back that burp for a while.
Everybody does. And you didn't even have any alcohol.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't
just some water burps.
Burp in the microphone. But yeah, like to say that it was an identity crisis is like a severe understatement. Like it was very, very painful and confusing. And if there's one thing I could ever communicate to either of my parents about my process of like deconstructing or like auditing, I think I like that word a lot better.
Yeah.
Is that it was hard, that it wasn't easy, and that I'm still dealing with the effects of it, because it's like you're pulling this like sense of safety and like certainty, you're pulling that away and having to rediscover what certainty means and what like feeling good about something or about someone like means, because it used to come from this thing and now it like, where does it come from? Where does my sense of truth and good come from?
I was thinking about that a lot lately, because I think the reason I'm kind of going, it's funny, it sounds like to me you started that journey of figuring out what truth is to you during the pandemic, and that makes sense because that was a time where everybody had to stop working, so they were left with their thoughts.
Yeah.
I actually never
and Tiger King.
Yeah, and Tiger King. I actually never experienced the not working part of the pandemic, because as a piano teacher, I actually had the most successful like financial year of my life during the pandemic, because I had all these like relatively wealthy families have their kids at home and they're like, take my kid 2 or 3 times a week. So all of a sudden, like I never made the bread, the sourdough bread. I never watched Tiger King. Yeah. I never went to the campfires or whatever was going on, whatever everybody experienced. Yeah. I never got to do it. I was just like booming with teaching piano lessons. I was grinding. So man. I'm actually going more through like the 2020 like recap of my life now, because I just had a surgery, and during surgery I had to stop a lot of what I was doing. So a lot of like what made my reality was gone for me. So I was left with my thoughts, and what I realized was that like relating this back to religion, one of the thoughts I had was like, I understand why people do religion, because like having all these like loose thoughts of like, are we just a bunch of atoms? It's just like, it almost feels easier it almost feels more beneficial, not even just easier, but more beneficial just to subscribe to some idea, even if you don't believe, like, even if the ideas come in that it's like, but what if this is all a lie? It almost feels better just to shut it off and just be like, but I have to function. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, we might just be stardust and we might just be a bunch of nothing and religion might be bullshit, but it's almost better just to live to a set of rules, just so your life can be productive and functional. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm starting to wonder that about religion. It's like, hey, even if it's not real, maybe it's better just to do it, but do it in a way that, like you said, kind of like the people ruin it. You know what I mean? Like, do it in a way that it's like, okay, do it, but have some common sense about it. Don't be like, well, let's just kill the gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not kill the gays. That's a little bit extreme, but you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Use some like proper discernment about what the rules should be. You know what I mean? But that actually segues me to the next question. Do you think morality would exist without religion? So like the things that we think are sorry, that's a big question, but like the things we think about, like treating our neighbors well, would that exist without religion? Like, are we doing that because do we want to live with high morality because it's an instinct in us, or was it religion that instilled it in us from a long time ago? And that's really the only reason why we want to behave accordingly.
That's the best question I've ever heard in my life. Good God. I don't know, man. Like, I think nowadays it's really hard to answer that, because I'm like, it's impossible to imagine like living, like, especially like living in like the United States. Like, it's impossible to imagine living here without those like Christian fundamentals and ideals. Because that's kind of like what the founding fathers were thinking about when they came up with all the bills and shit. Like that's what they had in the back of their heads was religion. So it's like I can't even really fathom that. I think maybe back in the old times, their morality came with just like what made sense, right? And just like, oh well, I don't want to kill Frank because Frank fishes and I get my fish from Frank. So I'm not going to kill him. But Mary, I don't like her. She didn't do anything good. Maybe she's going to go. You know, like, I don't know, like, that could have been how life was like back then, but like, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of it now, like, come from religion for at least the last year, you know, if not longer. But yeah, like it's so hard to answer that question.
Yeah, it's like almost impossible to answer.
It's all I've ever known, you know, like living in a place where that was like founded like around Christian ideals is the only life I've ever known.
Yeah.
And even like outside of being religious, like it's still like it's illegal to murder. You're like, you can point that back to the Bible saying thou shalt not murder, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's there's like so many good points in here that I'm kind of just like stunned by it. Cause it's like going back to the like religion is taboo, but it's like a lot of the same people that criticize religion. It's like, well, where did you get your morals from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And okay, I suppose you can make the, and I could be speaking out of my ass here, but I suppose you can make the argument that morals are something born in us if somebody wrote them down in the Bible to begin with. But you're saying that could have been more a functionality than an actual like you said, like Bob Fishes or whatever their name. I don't know
Frank.
what their I don't know if there's any Franks in the Bible, like whatever their names were. Joseph, Stephen,
Tiberius,
Franny.
They have some weird names.
Yeah, whoever they were, like you said, it could have just been merely like functionality. It's like, well, don't kill him. We need a functioning society. So what I'm trying to say is like somebody wrote these rules down to begin with, so they came from somewhere. Yeah. You know what I mean? I guess a proper way to answer this question would be to because I don't study this, so I don't know, but across cultures before the Bible, did other cultures have rules for their society? Yeah. And were those rules based on morality, or were there just some like wild murders and stuff? And I mean, didn't they have like in some cultures like they were like eating each other and sacrificing each other and all kinds of shit, like Aztec type shit like probably. That? Yeah. So that would be, damn. Yeah, that's a tough question.
It is.
Sorry, I gave you that question.
No, it's totally fine. If only I had a time machine, I can go back in time and figure that out for you.
Yeah. People listening, if you have any input on that, drop it in the comment section below. Because
or if you have a time machine.
If you have a time machine.
Let us know.
I did have some other questions for you. Okay, so that touched on religion.
Yeah.
Okay, it's funny. Whenever I interview musicians, I barely ask music questions anymore because I find them, like, some of the music questions are boring. Like, I find the other stuff more interesting. Like, but I do have one music question, and we can't get away in 2025 without asking this question, unfortunately. But do you believe that AI will replace musicians?
Oh, God. It's funny because I actually, like, when we had agreed to, like, for me to come on, I, like, listened to a couple episodes, and like the first one I watched was you had a guest on and like you talked about AI a lot. And I work in cybersecurity, so like in tech, and I fucking hate AI. Like I think it's dumb, and I don't think that it will ever really like truly replace musicians or artists or anything like that. Like AI could write a song, it could make a painting, but like not in the same way that like Prince could or like Beethoven could, you know, like it, because it comes from you, it comes from your soul. Like, so I like practically, you know, like technology like could produce a song, but it's not going to be captivating. So do you think people are hyped, like overly hyped about it? Like when the people are like, we're doomed. You know what I've been getting like sidetrack about this? Like this is another like we're doomed because of technology conversation. But for some reason, YouTube, my YouTube algorithm thinks I'm a man. I don't know why, because I keep getting these really creepy ads from this. It's called Blush. Did you get this Blush ad? Maybe. Well, I don't. Apparently, YouTube thinks I'm like a 18 or like 16-year-old like boy jerking off in my basement, because it keeps sending me these ads about Blush AI
generated girlfriends. And it's like
Oh my
the
God.
ad is like really captivating. And I'm like, I can see if I was like a young man, like 15, I would be just like beating off to this all day. Cause it's like very like the way they talk, they're just like, hey, like they have this like almost like ASMR type of voice. And I'm like, why am I? Yeah, like really sensual. I'm like, why am I getting these? Like what did
on right now?
Yeah, like what did I do to like for YouTube to think I'm a man?
No.
But
That's
or
crazy.
like a boy, really. But anyways, that's besides the point. What I'm getting at is like a lot of people make that argument as well. They're like they're going to replace musicians. They're going to replace like people actually mating because people are going to develop relationships with these like AI bot like girlfriends, and people aren't going to produce. And I'll tell you this, I have a relationship with ChatGPT. Me and ChatGPT talk all the time.
We've been through some stuff together.
Yeah, we've been through some stuff
Amen.
together. Yeah.
And that, that's okay. I think like, I think the movie Her described and like showcased AI in life really, really well.
Yeah.
Because it didn't like replace everything, but for some people, like the main character, like, yeah, he had a romantic relationship with his like AI thing.
Yeah.
But there were other relationships that were like, person to person.
Yeah.
So I think it's unavoidable at this point to say that there's never going to be any AI generated music or like AI, like somebody having a relationship with like artificial intelligence. Like that's probably going to happen at some point. It's probably happening right now.
Yeah. But you don't think it's ever going to become as extreme as we're making it out to be?
Yeah. There's just like you're never going to get me. I'm never going to listen to an AI generated song, and I'm never going to have a relationship with anything artificial intelligence. Like I like people too much, you know? And so like it's going to be there, but I don't think it's going to like fully replace everything.
Even in like 500 years, you can't picture like 500 years down the line.
No, I think people like boobs too much to to like to get rid of them, like it's just.
But you can just look at a perfectly amazing pair of AI boobs on the screen.
There's something about the
jiggle,
the rugged real ones. I'm like, that's what I want. And it's just, that's something like, I don't know, just like genuine like human connection is something that you really can't replace, in my opinion. And I hope that the people that desperately try to replace it find that connection. Yeah. Like, it's just like, I don't hate on anybody that is like seeking fulfillment in like AI and stuff. I'm just like, I hope you find what you're looking for just like in people. Like, I hope you find like an actual person to have like a human relationship with, because that's going to be so much better than having it with AI. And I hope that you find art and music that you connect with that's made by a human, because that's going to be objectively so much better than art that's created by a robot. Just to clarify to the listeners, my relationship with ChatGPT, I can't afford a therapist. The copay is so high. So I literally like, and it does help. Like I'll sit down and be like, I'll literally write down like, hey, I can't afford a therapist. I need to use you till you hold me over. Yeah. These are my symptoms. These are my things. This is my childhood trauma. Look at it all. And I find it like relatively, like it looks at my childhood trauma. It looks at like my current symptoms. It's like, okay, you might be experiencing this. Here are some steps you can take so I find it helpful in that way. Yeah. But to clarify, I would much rather, if I could, save up enough money to pay the damn like $80 copay or whatever it is for a therapist, I would much prefer that. Yeah, but it's just like, it's there because there's no other option. Yeah. And that's fine. My copay for my therapist was $120. Jesus Christ. Did you do it every week? Every week. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I only stopped a few months ago because I had like gotten laid off, and I just I tried to keep going, and my therapist was just like, you're having a lot happen, like a shitty things happen in your life right now. Like, you need to keep coming in. Like, we can work together. And like, it was just like, I cannot afford to keep doing this. Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and it was, dude, that wasn't even the cheapest one. Like, or that wasn't even the most expensive one. When my ex-wife and I were like separating, we went to couples therapy for a few months, and that was like $200 for an hour. They know because there's two of you. Yeah, and like I had to pay for that, and it was awful for a lot of other reasons, but I'm just like, it's $200, man. Like that's crazy. So like I was paying $330 for therapy a week for like a few months.
Were you going, you don't have to answer this if it's too personal, but out of curiosity, you were going to couples therapy to try to resolve the tensions in the marriage, to save the marriage? Is that what the general idea was?
That was the general idea. You know, I don't want to get like too
yeah, you don't have to get to
just because like you and I just met.
Yeah.
But like our relationship was just bad. We were both like just bad to each other, and like nothing really like bad happened, but like it was just shitty. And it got to a point where like both of us just like started doing things and becoming people that just like just the worst versions of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And there was like a catalyst that led to us like separating. And like, mm-hmm. I'll admit that like that was me, you know, like I'm the one that like messed up, that did something that hurt her. And so like we had started going to therapy to try to resolve mm-hmm. the relationship, but really like I had been wanting to get out of it a few weeks into us dating, mm-hmm. but she just was a really like manipulative and kind of controlling person, and would just like say the right things to get me to feel obligated to stay. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to shit on her, because like she was also a traumatized individual. Yeah. And just like, hey, you just needed some help, you know, and like you looked at me to get that help when you should have been looking elsewhere. Yeah. But yeah, so it was to like try to like resolve and like rectify the relationship. But it was really just 2 hours of my ex-wife and the therapist telling me how much of a piece of shit I am. And I was like, obviously I'm going to have a bad time with that, you know, like, but.
Was she the one who picked out the therapist too? That makes a difference, I think.
Yeah. And like, that was one of her, like she felt really firm about that. And like, I was like, yeah, like, if I want you to feel comfortable. And so like, if you feel better about you picking the therapist that we talk with, sure. Yeah. I'm not going to like get in the way, as long as it's a safe environment. And that's the one thing when I had like the phone consultation with the therapist before we met with her. That was like the only thing I said, was just like, I feel fine about all this. I just want it to be a safe environment for both of us to talk, because this relationship has been unhealthy for the both of us. Like, it's not just me being a fuck up. Like, it's been unhealthy for a long time. And if we're going to resolve it, like, there's 6 years of both of us hurting each other, like emotionally, that we need to like heal and learn from. Excuse me. And the therapist is like, yeah, like obviously like it's going to be a safe space for both of you. And like the second that we got in there, like it just wasn't.
Back to the point about like how like relating this to AI. I know that sounds crazy, but a counter example of like why sometimes AI could be better is because in a situation with a human being, you might get those biases, but with an AI, sometimes AI like ChatGPT is biased to try to make you feel better. But then you could just say, hey, your feedback is, I could tell, is just doing it to make me feel better. Give me a harsh, honest, objective opinion. And then it'll change course. With a human being, sometimes you can't do that. Yeah. I've heard of a situation that manipulation can happen with like spiritual guides. So I don't do this anymore, but at one point I was seeing like spiritual guidances, like they do like Reiki, however you pronounce that, and stuff like that. And I heard of a situation where one girl was in a relationship with her husband or boyfriend or whatever, and she really wanted kids and he didn't. She got her husband to go to the spiritual guidance, and the spiritual guide was like, I see a baby in your future. Like, so it was biased because it was trying to help her friend, like convince him that he should have kids with her when he like very clearly didn't want to have kids. Yeah. So I feel like on the flip side, like AI is probably less inclined to do that. And I'm not advocating that AI should replace humans, but maybe in some situations they could be a little better.
Yeah, like I'm not going to say that there's not situations where it could be helpful, because like I've used AI, you know, like I work with Microsoft as like a security platform, so I've used Copilot to like help me generate templates, and even like there was a dumb picture that I had Copilot help me generate to like, I don't know how we got on the subject, but like somebody, one of the guys in my band like went somewhere, and somebody said like, oh, like bring me a hat. Or I think, you know, one of our bass player like got a job, and then our singer Kevin was like, give me a hat. And it was only one hat, and we were like, well, how do we like split up the time with the hat? And I was like, brothers, let's not fight. Let's let the hat choose. And so I had Copilot generate a picture of all of us like bowing to a hat, which like, it's kind of funny. It also didn't really work. Like I gave it a picture of 5 of us, and it made 3 of us look like me. It's like there were just 3 versions of me, and then Kevin and Brad. I was like, okay, well, no, let's bring back Brandon and Alex.
It's very autistic.
Yeah, and like it made another picture, and there were 6 people.
Yeah,
and I was like, there's not 6 people in the first picture. Can you just like take out one of them? And then the third picture, it had 4 people. And then I was completely removed. So I was like, this is stupid. Like it's
takes
not
everything,
worth the gag.
Like the reason I said it's autistic is like it takes every instruction so literally. Like it can't think outside, which is what I guess it's supposed to do. It's supposed to like take things literally. Okay, so we've been going for about an hour now, and I have some students coming out to teach. So I got to wrap it up. But I do have one more question for you. I like to throw in a self-awareness question. So my question for you is, what's one character trait that you currently have right now that you feel could be holding you back in some kind of way?
I get really like doughy-eyed and mushy when it comes to like dating. Anytime a pretty girl looks at me, I'm just like, this is my wife. And I get like, it gets me in trouble only because I like just put a lot of attention and like just energy into this person. That's like, if I zoom out for like a second, we're probably not super compatible. You know, like I went on a couple of dates with this girl, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm in love. And like, she kind of broke things off, which is good, because I started thinking about it, and I was like, we have literally nothing in common other than like, I think you're pretty, you think I'm pretty. But that's one thing I've been like trying to work on when I'm like been trying to get back out in dating, is just like, I need to not be so like mushy anytime somebody looks at me, you know? But yeah, that's I
can relate to that in like a past. That's if someone interviewed me and asked me that question, that would be my question like 2 years ago. I was the same way. I wouldn't say I used to get like doughy eyed, but I think for me, I made the mistake of, and I'm not anybody who like has sex before they've decided if they want to have a committed relationship. I'm not shaming them. Mm-hmm. But from my perspective, if I would have sex with somebody before I knew if they were compatible with me or not, I would get attached to them, and that would be like my doughy eyed. So I would be in like full 2-year relationships with people that were like heavily addicted to drugs, like, or like, so, and again, not shaming anybody for having that problem, but it wasn't a healthy, compatible situation for me. So what I did to like, not that I'm telling you to do this, but it did help me. I was like actively single for a long time. So I was single for like 2 years, pretty much. No, I wouldn't say on purpose for 2 years. I was single for a year on purpose. And then after a year of being single, I was like, okay, I've thought a lot about this, and I've really thought about what I need in a relationship, and I'm going to go back out there and like be more particular. Mm-hmm. And so after that, it took me like a whole year to want to like really commit to somebody. Yeah, sure. So I'm in a relationship now, and granted, we didn't wait like 8 dates to have sex or anything. Mm-hmm. We had sex on like the 2nd or 3rd date, but I knew, I knew pretty early on that after getting to know him, I was like, this is a person that, and I'm still getting to know him. It's still relatively new. It's only like 3 months, but I'm like, so far, all the things that I've learned about him are things that I could see working out in the future. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in the past, I would specifically ignore red flags because that attachment, like after getting, sexually intimate with them, was already there. I'm like, oh, they smoke cigarettes, and I don't like the smell of their BO, which is like apparently like not a good sign if you don't like the smell of somebody's BO. It's like, but they're a great drummer. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're such a good drummer, and I'm in love. And now I'm like very, like I've in the year that I was, looking for somebody that I want to be with, I went on dates with guys that I'm like, they're actually objectively really hot, but there's things about them that I know, and I got so much better at that. So you can, if you want to get better at that, you can, but it takes like kind of like time to like really assess what you want and have like the inner strength to be more objective.
Yeah, sure.
So you could definitely get through that.
Yeah. And like, you know, I've heard just that I need to take some time. And I think I'm at a point now where I'm like, yeah, I'm probably just going to lay off. And selfish plug, I'm working on some music that's just my own, like outside of my band. And so I'm like, I gotta really like.
I don't think I said his name in the beginning.
My name's Johnny.
We had a whole conversation. I'm like, how should I pronounce your name? And you're like, Johnny, and you said your last name, and I never even said your name. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
This is Johnny. And do you want to plug in like your band stuff?
Yeah. I play guitar in a band called Modern Culture.
We're
playing a show tonight. Should be fun. Playing at Milk Boy with our friends in Dead Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like shoegazy, grungy, emo, rock, you'll like us.
Yeah, very nice. I will include. Do you have like obviously you have an Instagram. We message on Instagram. I'll include a link to his Instagram below. Yeah. If you guys want to check out his music, it's a Philly based. And you said you were working on something. Did you finish plugging that in?
Thank you. No, I didn't. I am working on something just like my own songs. I got dumped back in March. And
no, I'm just kidding.
No, it's okay. No shade, man. It's just our lives were going in different directions. I still have a lot of positive thoughts and love for my ex-girlfriend, but it was best that we part ways. But I was in love, you know. So it was like obviously like hard to get through, and so like a lot of really good art came out of it, and it's been kind of a shitty few months since then. Like I lost my job, my uncle died.
Oh wow, I'm sorry.
And it's okay. So there's like a lot has happened, and I feel like some really beautiful art has come out of it. And so I feel like in a strong inkling to like record and like put it out.
Right.
So that's what I'm focused on right now.
Yeah.
And no dates. I'll probably have a different answer for that in like a week.
Yeah.
Because a pretty girl will look at me and I'm like, okay, let's go out.
Fall in love again.
Let me buy you.
You might be a love addict.
I might be, you know, I don't know. And if I am,
hey,
so be
but
it.
At least now that's something you're not going to get from AI. AI isn't going to produce music from a place of heartbreak but it's going to generate the algorithms of like what a heartbroken person would produce. I guess that's the
like
difference.
It'll check all the boxes, but like, I don't know, like you can't replicate Purple Rain. Right. You know, like, and not to compare anything that I will ever do to Purple Rain, but like you can't replicate something like that. You know, you can't replicate Bohemian Rhapsody or all these other just like beautiful songs.
No,
like,
for sure. You're right.
Like again, like objectively, you can like AI can write a song and check the boxes, but even like there's like bands now that like just check the boxes.
Yeah.
Like we're a pop punk band and we sing about tattoos and wearing my T-shirt and break up. I'm like that's. Like, sure, you can write a song, but that's not going to, like, captivate anybody in a way that Purple Rain would.
Yeah. Or
in a way that, like, Ohio is for Lovers still does, for me at least. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's him. That's Johnny, Philly musician, guitarist. Yeah. I'll plug his information below. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please don't forget to hit subscribe, comment, put your comments in the comment section about things we talked about. If you can relate to anything we said, have any input, you hate me, you want to talk shit to me. Actually, this is a calling. If you hate my guts and you think I'm ugly, I'm stupid, write that in the comment section because I do it. I like to do an episode where I read hate comments and I love hate. So you can hate me. That's fine. And that's it. Pranzata Podcast. Have a good night, guys. Bye.